Oil just hit $99 per barrel. Iran and the US are in open conflict. The Strait of Hormuz is effectively closed. 20% of the world's oil supply is stuck, and Cambodia's fragile tourism recovery is now in serious danger. Let me explain what's happening, why this matters specifically to Cambodia, what the patterns from history tell us, and most importantly, what you should do about it right now. What's happening on March 12th? Brent crude oil hit $19 per barrel. It spiked to $119 on Monday before settling back. This is the result of escalating conflict between the US and Iran following Israeli strikes on Iranian nuclear facilities on February 28th. The Strait of Hormuz, which carries 20% of the world's oil, is effectively closed. This is the biggest oil supply disruption in history, twice the size of the 1956 Suez Crisis. The G7 announced they're releasing 400 million barrels from emergency reserves to try to stabilize prices. But this is a temporary measure. If the Iran conflict continues, oil could hit $120 or higher and stay there for months. Why this matters to Cambodia? Cambodia is 100% dependent on imported oil. You have 21 days of fuel reserves according to the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Pump prices in Phnom Penh have already jumped 18% in 3 days. Some stations in Siem Reap are out of regular gasoline entirely. But the bigger threat isn't fuel for tuk-tuks, it's what high oil prices do to international tourism. Cambodia just got named BBC's #1 travel destination for 2026. 7 million tourists projected. 2 new international airports just opened. The boom everyone's been waiting for is supposed to happen this year, but tourists fly here on long-haul flights. Siem Reap is 10 hours from London, 12 hours from New York, 14 hours from Sydney, 18 hours. When oil hits $99 per barrel, airline fuel costs spike. Airlines raise ticket prices to cover costs. Long-haul flights get hit hardest because they burn the most fuel. A round-trip ticket from London to Phnom Penh that cost $800 in January might cost $200 by May if oil stays at $100 or climbs higher. That's a 50% price increase. Tourists on tight budgets start reconsidering. Maybe they go to Thailand instead, where the flight is shorter and cheaper. Maybe they postpone the trip entirely. Maybe they come for 1 week instead of 2. The historical pattern. This has happened before. In 2022, oil prices hit $120 per barrel due to the Russia-Ukraine war. Cambodia saw tourism numbers drop 40% within 90 days of the price spike. It wasn't immediate. Month 1, tourism looked fine because people had already booked and paid. Month 2 started showing cancellations and fewer new bookings. Month 3, the impact was clear. Guest houses in Siem Reap went from 70% occupancy to 40%. The pattern was consistent. Long-haul tourists from Europe and America dropped first. Regional tourists from Asia held steadier but also declined. Budget travelers disappeared. Only high-end travelers who don't care about flight costs kept coming. Recovery didn't start until oil dropped back below $90. That took 6 months. By the time tourism recovered to previous levels, it was 9 months later. The prediction. Based on the 2022 pattern, if oil stays above $95 for more than 30 days, I expect Cambodia tourism to soften by June. I give this 60% confidence. Why 60% and not higher? Because there are variables. If Iran conflict resolves quickly, oil could drop fast. If G7 reserve releases work better than expected, prices could stabilize. If airlines absorb costs instead of passing them to consumers, impact could be delayed. But the fundamentals are clear. High oil equals expensive flights equals fewer tourists. The pattern is reliable. What this means for you. If you run a guest house, restaurant, tour company, or any business that depends on tourism, you need to prepare for potential softening in April through June. But here's the counterintuitive part. This crisis makes digital presence more important, not less. When tourists can afford to come, they show up, and you get walk-in traffic. When flights are expensive, only committed travelers come. And committed travelers research online first. They book in advance. They compare options digitally. If you're not visible online, the committed travelers who do come won't find you. They'll find whoever is visible, probably a hotel or tour company that invested in digital presence years ago. So your strategy right now is get visible while competition is low. Most businesses will panic and do nothing. Some will cut costs and wait it out. Very few will invest in digital presence during a downturn. That's your opportunity. Build your website now. Set up your Google business profile now. Get listed in directories now. Optimize for search now. When oil stabilizes and tourism recovers in 6 to 9 months, you're positioned. You'll capture the rebound because you're visible. Your competitors who stayed invisible will still be invisible. And here's the other advantage. Even during the downturn, you can capture advance bookings. Travelers who are committed to Cambodia will search online and book months ahead to lock in cheaper flights. If you're visible, you get those bookings. If you're not, someone else does. Lining. There's actually a silver lining to this crisis. It forces the digital transition that needed to happen anyway. For years, Cambodia businesses relied on walk-in traffic and word of mouth. That worked when tourism was growing. But it's fragile. One oil shock, one border closure, one pandemic, and your business collapses. Digital presence creates resilience. You're not dependent on physical foot traffic. You can capture bookings during downturns. You own your customer data so you can bring them back for repeat visits. The businesses that survive this oil crisis will be the ones that get digital. The ones that don't will struggle every time there's an external shock. This crisis is teaching you what you should have learned years ago. Get online or get left behind. Your action plan. So here's what you do this week. Get your Google business profile set up. It's free. Takes 30 minutes. Tourists searching for guest houses or restaurants in your area will find you. If you can invest $500 to $1,000, get a basic website built. Doesn't need to be fancy. Just needs to show your rooms, your menu, your services, and how to book directly. Get listed in free directories. Seam, reap, thrive. Fish, nom, pen, thrive. Anywhere tourists might search before booking.com. And if you can't afford to invest right now, at least start collecting customer emails. Every tourist who stays with you or eats at your restaurant, ask for their email. Build a list. When tourism recovers, you can email them directly and bring them back. This oil crisis will pass. Oil prices will eventually drop. Tourism will recover. The question is whether you'll be positioned to capture the recovery or still invisible when it happens. Get online now. Build while others panic. When the boom returns, you win. This is Cambodia Business News. Every Tuesday and Friday, I analyze events that impact your business and tell you what to do about it. Next video Friday, subscribe so you don't miss it. I'm Lawrence. I'm with you. Let's navigate this together.